So this week I've been invited to take part in Bookie Brunch. This is a weekly activity that happens on the internet each week, hosted by a different person, which invites book lovers together and asks them some questions. This week's question is your odd book-related habits. Do you enjoy the smell of books? Do you have to have matching covers? Can't stand creased covers or creased pages? When I worked in Waterstones, we had these people we called book sniffers. These people would scurry into a bookshop, grab the closest tome to them, open the pages, put their face between them and inhale deep. I myself don't find myself particularly drawn to the idea of the smell of books, but maybe that's just because I have a very poor sense of smell in general. I definitely feel that when you walk into a place full of books, particularly an old place like a library where people have read and books have lived for years and years, there is a beautiful sense to the place, and that's probably a lot to do with smell. I specifically remember when I was young, I had my first ever job, it was work experience, and it was at the British Museum, and I was absolutely terrified. And yet, when I walked into the reading room, which of course was absolutely packed with books, and packed with memories of books, people had sat in that room and done research, or wrote Mark Twain, George Eliot, Karl Marx. I remember walking in and the smell of books and the feel of books was just really comforting. And it felt like I'd walked back into my own bedroom at home, walls to walls plastered with books. I probably have every other odd book habit you could possibly think of. I love to keep my books in alphabetical order, and at the moment it annoys me that I don't have enough shelves to do that properly. As you've probably seen from my previous videos, I love to collect multiple editions of books I really love. So if the book gets a new cover, if there are any rare editions with printing mistakes, or just hardbacks and then softbacks as well. I justify buying multiple copies, especially different covers, by the fact that I buy most of my books from charity shops or second-hand shops. The fact that I buy them from these kinds of shops and I know there's no guarantee I'll be able to find any of them, and of course the fact that they're so cheap, allows my conscience to continue with this odd collecting. I also love to keep my books in good condition. I'm not one of those people who won't even read the books because they're scared of creasing the spine. However, I am very sad when I do eventually crease the spine. I'm also the kind of person who, if a friend borrows a book and then spills hot chocolate on it, or allows it to grow a new culture of life, looking at you, I will ask for a replacement. I also employ a technique of reading. I saw another YouTuber, The Missing N, talk about this in their YouTube video, How to Read a Book, and he doesn't read the blurbs before he reads the books. I love to look at a cover to have a vague idea of what the book is about. Maybe it's a fantasy book, maybe I know it's just meant to be a really good book, and then read it. I find the blurbs end up spoiling too much for me. Also, while I have you here, I'd like to announce the winner of my Jane Austen competition. All the entrants are in this bowl. And the winner is Bizarre Goblin. I'll be sending you a message ASAP to get your details. Anyway, post down below or create a video response. What are your odd book habits? I'd love to know.